Welcome back to the Dream Doers Podcast, where we talk about real life, real business, and what it actually takes to build your dreams without losing your mind. I'm Jana Marie, and today's episode is going to hit home for a lot of you. Because if you're anything like me, you're juggling work from home, family, business, and a million ideas, and you probably feel like your brain has about 47 tabs open. And one of them is frozen. And the music is coming from somewhere, but you can't find it. Does that sound familiar? You're not lazy and you're not broken. I promise you're just overwhelmed. And that overwhelm turns into paralysis, where we spin, we scroll, and we overthink instead of moving forward. But today I'm going to help you break that because you don't need more hustle and you don't need more heart. You need more structure, clarity, and the way to make your time actually work for you. There's where my 888 theory comes in. You've probably heard of the old 888 rule, 8 hours of work, 8 hours of rest, 8 hours of personal life, and that's cute, right? But this isn't that. What I'm teaching today is the 888 theory, a full system built for creative entrepreneurs, home-based workers, and passionate dream doers like you and me who want that split to actually work using AI, structure, decluttering, and intentional time design. This isn't about squeezing more in, you all. It's about designing a life that lets you breathe again. And this is what I've mastered. If there's one thing I've noticed, a lot of my friends always say, how do you do all of the things? And for a long time, I was like, I don't know, I just do it. And then I really stopped to think. I became obsessed with systems and structure. And those systems and structure now work for me so that I can spend all my time doing the creative things that you all are seeing me do, like podcasting and my photography business and my photo booth business. And now I've started Rich Life Alliance with my friend Stacy to help protect individuals and businesses and give them affordable access to legal support for day-to-day and big things. So listen, I've got a lot on my plate, and I didn't even mention that I'm a mom. And I've been doing that myself for the past about 5 to 7 years. So I want to share a quote with you from one of my favorite mentors. His name is Dean Graziosi. If you haven't heard of him, you're missing out, but you're going to hear some gold. And this isn't just a quote, it's a paragraph. So listen in. 70% of solopreneurs fail within 5 years, and it's not because they're not smart. It's not because they don't work hard. It's because as they start to grow, they get pulled away from the thing that allowed them to launch in the first place. The weight of everything starts to take over, and then all of a sudden, you burn out. Before long, you're spending more hours in your business rather than on your business. Did you know 28% of the average work week is lost to email? I actually started tracking my time years ago before I put all my structures in place. And that is so correct. In fact, it was like 50% for me. So that was huge for me to recognize. Think about that though. 11 hours immediately are gone to emails. Most small business owners work 60 to 80 hours a week and still feel they are behind. That is crazy. They admit they spend more time maintaining the business than growing it. Those are the stats that are holding people back from working on the creative. What is the outcome of that? Creative fades, momentum stalls, and then the business or the dream that you started, unfortunately, begins to flatline, and that's where the real cost comes into play. The stagnation, the burnout, the missed opportunities. Businesses don't fail because their founders lack skill. I promise that's not why they're failing. They fail because they lose space to think, create, and lead. That's why we're here. That's why people like Dean and his mentor, Tony Robbins, they're all teaching a lot of these things too. And I love it. And this is why what he's saying here is gold. To help you reclaim that resource and that creativity, that innovation to start, to launch, to scale, to protect, to offload the repetitive, the draining, the mind-numbing tasks that keep you stuck so you can focus on the few moves that actually multiply your growth, your impact, and your success. That whole thing was from Dean, and it's so wise. So essentially, we're failing because we're drowning. Our phones buzz every 30 seconds. We have 5 email inboxes, 18 passwords, 600 unread messages, or in some case, I've seen you all have 10,000 unread messages on your phones and about zero clarity. We're trying to run businesses from our kitchen tables while kids need snacks, clients need replies, and our brains are screaming, "There's too much." We think we'll organize later, but when things slow down, but then we never do. So we live in this constant fog of stress. And here's what happens next. When your world is cluttered, like mine, your brain can't make decisions. When your brain can't make decisions, you procrastinate. And procrastination equals paralysis. I talk about this a lot in my past episodes. That's the cycle I want to break for you all today. So the 888 theory, this is my roadmap out of that chaos. Grab a pen and paper if you want. I also have this in the show notes, but here's how it works. Every day, you get 24 hours, but most of us give all 24 hours to everyone else. The 888 theory says 8 hours to work, purpose, income, building your dream, 8 hours to rest, sleep, recovery, recharge, and then 8 hours to personal life, family, joy, growth, stillness. That's the skeleton. That's the backbone. But what makes my version powerful is how we make it actually work in real life through our pillars. 1, declutter your digital world. 2, structure your business. 3, organize your space and your systems. And 4, design your time with AI support. I know I never wanted to get into AI. I really refused for a long time. And then I told a friend the other day when I was having coffee with her, I started to dabble and learn a lot more. And man, if you can get back all of that time that we shared above, that's going to emails and monotonous things that you're saying as you're typing anyway 1,000 times and automate that, you're going to get about 10 to 18 hours of your week back just by using AI. So guys, hear me out, okay? Stay with me. When you align those 4 things above, declutter your digital world, structure your business, organize your space and system, and then design your time with AI support, you reclaim the balance the original 888 rule only dreamed about. This is how we declutter your digital world. Your digital clutter is silently stealing your hours. It drives me nuts, personally. I digress, but emails, notifications, group chats, endless pings and dings, and each one chips away at your focus. You hear buzzing all day long. I can't do it. So years ago, this was my simple fix, okay? I found a company called Unroll Me, and they unscribe you from everything that doesn't serve you. You know, those thousands of things you signed up for all through high school and college and your young adult life, and, you know, get 10% discounts if you sign up for our emails here. And then if you go to Unroll Me, it's going to show you how many subscriptions you've signed up for. And you might think in your mind, okay, maybe I have 50 subscriptions. When I did this, I didn't realize I had hundreds. I can't even remember the number because it's been so long since I did this, but I'm pretty sure it was like 240 subscriptions. That's ridiculous. So go to your phone settings, turn off every bubble, every buzz, every red dot. Use Unroll Me. You'll feel weirdly naked for a day, and then you'll feel peace. Next, invite AI into the picture, not as another app, but as your assistant. Try these prompts. If you haven't downloaded or logged into ChatGPT, let me tell you, while there are cons, and cons I'm not fond of, there are pros. And if you can lean into the pros, and if we can figure out how to grow this beast together while taking care of our planet, it can be, and it will be, an advancement that projects so many of us forward. But if we don't dive into at least learning about AI, we're going to be left behind. There's nothing else to say about that. So log into ChatGPT, design a time block schedule for a home-based entrepreneur, balancing kids, self-care, all the things, clients, whatever you need. Okay? Say things like this, ChatGPT. And in my world, My ChatGPT's name is Chatty with a D. Chatty. I have another friend, she calls hers Chatty. So when I reference Chatty, this is what I'm talking about. So, hey Chatty, help me write an email response policy so clients know I answer at set times. Hey Chatty, help me batch 30 days of social captions for my business. Do this and you'll reclaim around 18 hours a week of mental space, because it's going to start helping you with those monotonous things again that we're doing over and over and over. Tags on your WordPress blogs when you're blogging for your business. Those emails that we say the same thing about, hey, payment reminders and follow-ups and, hey, can you leave your reviews here for me? Those types of things. It's not that it's becoming impersonal. You were manually typing the exact same thing anyway because it was coming from your head and your heart. So if you can set those up to be automated and have ChatGPT take your voice and your brand and implement it for you, it's going to clear up so much of your time. Trust me. Okay, pillar 2, structure your business. Chaos in your business equals chaos in your brain. If your contracts, your invoices, your workflows, and all of that live in 12 different places, you're burning hours and energy you could be spending creating. And if you've listened to previous podcasts, I talk a lot about this. I used to have a 3-ring binder with all of my invoices and contracts and everything in there. And I would be on the road and the client would say, how much do I owe you? And I would think, I have to get home, look that up. Oh, I can't find that. So I learned about the program called Dubsado. I'm not going to talk about Dubsado today because I have a previously recorded podcast. Go back and find that one. My whole beast of a system was set up with Dubsado, and that changed my life. Okay, we're going to start by centralizing. The Dubsado I just shared about, they do contracts, client flows. There's also things like Asana for ClickUp or tasks. Use automation so your business runs when you're sleeping. Hello, this was like the greatest thing I implemented in my life. My business started working for me. I could be on the beaches of Mexico under a cabana having a margarita looking at the ocean, and my system is working for me and booking my clients. Or, I could be sleeping at night and I have photo booth inquiries coming in and they're getting booked, all because I have a system that's working for me. Okay, here's how else AI can help you. Use prompts like Chatty. You know what? And you can come up with your own name. Chatty is mine. Write a client onboarding workflow for a photo booth company. Or Chatty, create an email funnel that welcomes new clients and educates them. You'll be shocked how much time this saves and how much calmer you feel, because when your business has bones, your creativity finally has room to dance. And that's what we all want, right? Okay, pillar 3, organize your space and your systems. This is my favorite. Physical clutter is mental clutter to me. If you work from home, carve out a designated workspace. So currently I'm in my kitchen, but right there through that door, I have my office and I have everything designated in there to my office. And then the closet is designated to all of my storage for my photo booth stuff, as well as a special space in my basement and my garage, all for my vehicles and my photo booth equipment. So designate spaces for you. Even if it's your kitchen table, this is my podcast spot. Make it sacred. Declutter your desk, clean your surfaces, and build a shutdown ritual. At the end of the day, close your laptop, tidy your space, say out loud, work is done, and then step away. Compartmentalizing is huge, not only in our brain, but in our space. And that one boundary can heal so much burnout. Before I started all of this, I used to just work all the time, day, night, anytime I could, and that's part of the structure that has to be set in place for those who work at home, because really you can get sidetracked by your dirty dishes and your lawn mowed and then a contractor coming over or a project you're doing. And so much is happening right here. It was not until I personally set aside specific work hours and specific play hours, the 8-8-8 rule, that things really started to change for me. So when I say tell your clients that your business hours are from 8 a.m. until 3:45 p.m. when your kids get out of school, and then you close your laptop and you turn your phone off, that means you have to be disciplined enough to follow that rule that you set and that boundary that you set for your clients. Turn it off. Pillar 4, design your time with AI. Here's where we merge everything. Time design. So for the next 7 days, I want you to track where every hour goes. I did this for about 4, 5, 6 months. I can't even remember, but I had a journal next to my desk and I wrote down everything I did for a long time. Even your scrolling and your snacking or your lunch. Then you're going to map it into your 8-8-8 blocks. Your work, your rest, and your personal. Ask AI to help you rebalance. Say, based on this schedule, help me redistribute so I get 8 hours of work, 8 hours of sleep, and 8 personal hours. And you'll start seeing your life like a spreadsheet that actually makes sense. And that's powerful. And I don't know if this has hit you all yet in this podcast today, but when I say those things out loud, I'm used to it now. But when I share with my friends, when they say they're too busy or they can't get to this, listen, we all put our time and our finances and our energy where we want it to go. When you say out loud that you have 8 hours to work, that leaves you 16 other hours to play, have your personal life, and sleep. You all, that is so much time. I'm sure a few of you are thinking, wow, right, like where does my time go? And that is exactly why I want you to do that exercise above. Keep your little journal right next to you every single day. Everything you do, just start tracking it. And I promise you're going to see where you're giving your time and your attention. And you're going to be like, I'm working for 15 hours a day, or I'm not getting any sleep because I'm hanging out with friends all night. Or, you're going to start to see what your life looks like, which is going to give you a good start to looking at your goals and forward thinking to how you can make those goals happen within this theory I'm giving you today. Now, friends, this episode was your jump start. But if you want to go from knowing to doing, that's where my mini course comes in. It's called Declutter, Structure, and Focus, your 888 Blueprint. Inside of this, I'll go deep on each pillar with video walkthroughs, AI prompt libraries, workspace setup guides, and time tracking templates, amongst a lot of other bonuses. But I really want to encourage you to consider signing up for this. I'm going to offer it at a really great discount because I know so many of my business friends come to me all the time. Hey, can you just set me up? Can you just get me organized? Can you help out? Like my mind is everywhere. I don't know how you do it. And I'm like, okay, not that I wanted this to become what I did for a living, but I realized I became so good at that so that my businesses could function so that I could spend more time with my kids and travel and open up so many different businesses because, hey-o, rich people have at least 7 sources of income. So that is the journey that I'm on. I realize I can do those things because of my systems and structures. So if you hear me talk about it a lot, that is why. So you're building your entire 888 system before January 1st with me if you dive into this course. And I really want to help you hit those goals. I mean, how many of us on January 1st were making all of these New Year's resolutions and we're thinking, oh, we're going to do this. I want to be this year. I want to accomplish this. And then by February 15th, you can't even remember what you wrote down. And then by June and July, it's completely gone. And then all of a sudden it's October or November and you're thinking the year's almost over. What did I do? Where did it go? If you're a business that's already set up, but you want some extra help with your structure and your organization so that you can declutter your space, your mind, your back end, and you want to project yourself forward in a totally different realm so you can get back to your creative mindset. Or if you're a new person wanting to start a business and you don't even know where to start and it just seems overwhelming, you can start the new year with clarity, peace, and momentum with me. You can join the waitlist right now through the link that I'll put in my show notes or at thedreamdoers.com because, friends, you don't need more motivation. We don't need more self-help. We really just need that plan that actually fits the life that you want, and that 888 theory is the plan. So let's declutter, get focused, and build the life that you've been dreaming of. I've become a huge advocate for being a dream doer, and I would love to see you start implementing so that you can be a dream doer as well and not just a dreamer. So let's do this, friends. Thank you for joining. Make sure you subscribe to me on YouTube. You can find me all across all social media at the Dream Doers Podcast. And until next time.